But back to your parents, since they are neurotypicals, their marriage isn't as sacred to them as it is to my parents, because sex things are good for my parents' sensory issues. So being in a relationship where they at least cuddle and snuggle is super important to them, because it is the best thing in the world for my parents because of severe sensory issues. I have studied autism because I was a psychology minor back in college, and I don't think that's particularly true. Why? Do you know why people do that stuff? To make love to each other? Love is its own thing. Sensory-wise, that is an important sensory factor to everyone. Regardless of if you're neurotypical or not. I think you mean autism or not. I do, you're right. I never really studied psychology, the psychology of love during my studies of autism. Why, if you don't mind me asking? I've just been focused on finding a cure for autism than I have other things. That is all you have been putting forth in your studies? Yes, because I want to figure this out, because the thing is, I don't want to have autism anymore, and if I find a cure, it will help the rest of my family live better lives. I see, but you do realize that most experiments are conducted in labs instead of offices. Yes. There's a lot more psychology than autism, than just autism, but more important to life. So are you saying I'm making autism my life? Yes, I do. Well, if I marry you, I promise I am not going to because I do love you. I know, but you know what you call a good life? Focused on one entire thing? A life wasted? Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Well, that's not exactly true. That's not true entirely, because I'm trying to figure out who the return is. So how does it make it untrue? If the return is good, it could be the key to saving my mother's life and ending her mobility issues. That made Hannah feel stunned for a sec. You never told me about that regarding the return, Hannah said. I probably should have. I'm sorry, I said. Why do you do that? Because you have told multiple people time and time again that you are on bad terms with your parents. Because if I don't, it will devastate a lot of people, and it will make my relationship with my parents better. Why? Why does it have to be you? George is too young, and Sam unfortunately has his mind a bit set on other things. And my dad is too nervous about the idea of losing her that distracts him from doing anything. I see. Everyone, including my mom's sisters, knows she is a bit crazy, but everyone loves her, including you? Yeah? Wow, you are devoted. I am. I want her to live because she is just 45, and if my dad loses her this young, and my dad is 38, I'm scared I'm going to lose my dad too. How do you know she is going to die? I don't know that, but she is getting worse. How do you know that, Hannah asked. A few days or maybe a day after I arrived as Dr. Marcacius, I saw my dad on the phone crying. He said he couldn't handle her anymore with me being Dr. Marcacius, but I think in the end he moved on. Then maybe you should transition back into Marcus Robbins. Why? Because Dr. Marcacius is causing trouble. That is not a good enough reason. Sorry. I love you, but if you act that way, it does make you look like a joke, said Hannah. So what is the main reason why I am doing this? Because my parents do not treat me nicely. You just said you want to save your mother's life. I'm confused. Because I love my mom, even though she doesn't treat me nicely. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Why and what does this have to do with you trying to save your mother's life? Because my mother began to turn crappy when those mobility issues began, which is right after George was born. So the main reason why I want to save her life is because if she dies, it will be as an unhappy woman, and I will be unhappy with her too if she dies, which is why I want to try and save her, and I think that is the job the return wants to help me with, because if I save her life, it will make me happy again, because it will make her happy again, because she will be living a better life, and she will be treating everyone nicer. Wow, I did not know that. I know. I can tell my mom is upsetting my dad because of her health issues, because of how her health is, and the reason why he is upset, it is because he loves her so much. The that is for that is the worst kind of upset feeling. That's the worst kind of upset feeling. Feeling upset because of how much you love someone or something and is about to be destroyed a bit somehow. I know. I wish there was more for me to be able to do things. I really do. Just then, a CTA personnel, uh, 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 just then the CTA personnel approached, our core. This train is leaving in 1 minute, said the personnel. The personnel then left to head on to other cores to let them know we will be deploying soon. Now I think it's time for me to go, said Hannah. I had a nice time tonight and a nice and serious talk, I said. Before we go, there is one more thing I want to do. What is it? Must be done quickly. You have to give me permission to do it no matter what. And since your hood is down, can you also take your hat off for extra space? I will, I said as I was taking my hat, my black fedora off and was holding it up to my torso to make space. Immediately after that, Hannah then kissed me on the lips. And I really liked it. Bye, Marcus, Hannah said. Bye, Hannah, I love you, I said. Hannah then left the train. Immediately after she walked out, the intercom said the doors were closing and I was on my way to 9050 and Ryan in the Loop to get off at Jackson. My mind was set on the fact I was just kissed on the lips by a girl for the first time. I then got a phone call from my mother. Mom, my train got delayed. I am between Howard and Jorvis. I will be home in a half hour, I said through the phone. I then hung up because of the shock, even though it was happy shock. After that, I was still sitting quietly and didn't hear anything literally until the intercom said we were arriving at Jackson. I got off the train in Jackson and realized I loved Hannah so much because the main reason why I was shocked was because nobody ever kissed me on the lips before. If I was upset, I would have called the police, and you know what? I liked the feeling when she kissed me on the lips, and I felt lightheaded and happy as I was entering Robbinsog. Unfortunately, that all went away when I got into Robbinsog because my mom yelled at me for how I talked to her on the phone and how I wasn't specific enough for her when I didn't think it was a big deal at all, but still, life goes on.